26th of October 2020. We started the journey to develop ourselves as a fluent English speaker. This journey was to flourish ourselves in the skill of speaking and listening. At the time of COVID-19 pandemic, when we were locked in our homes, it was very tough to communicate and start the conversation between each other. We experienced some beautiful and informative intercommunications. We also faced several ups and downs to organize the practice conversations. Day by day, we continued and reached at the point of 100. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Abu Wasipushan, one of the organizer and member of our EPCC language team, is welcoming you to our virtual celebration of the 100th English practice conversation. Before starting our discussion, I'd like to say, please wear your masks to protect yourself from COVID-19, as the widespread of COVID-19 is now in our country as well in the whole world, and you have to maintain all the health guidelines, including washing your hands regularly and maintaining social distance, and also as much as you can open a window as per the World Health Organization is suggesting us. So today we are going to celebrate about our 100th English practice conversation, and I think it will be a very enjoyable discussion for everyone. And today we have other organization and active member today, that is Mr. Turab Ibn Hussain. So one of our important member and organizer. So let's know from him that how he's feeling. So Turab, you can say about your feeling, how you are feeling in this point of carnival of the 100 English practice conversation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Turab Ibn Hussain, and this is our 100 English practice conversation. Abrar Wasif Ocean said very nicely about the beginning, and I totally support him. Yes, I'm feeling very fabulous in this sort of time. Obviously, the 100 English practice conversation is really a special one, and we are going to celebrate it very wholeheartedly. And I believe we won't face any problem in celebrating, and we will carry on our conversation in near future.
Inshallah, we hope so.
Yes. So our discussion was about to be divided into 4 parts, right? The first part was introductory part. So I'd like to start from Abrar Wasif Ocean. Please introduce yourself before our audiences.
Yes, I have already introduced myself, one of the EPCC language team's member and organizer. And also I'd like to say I'm a student of class 10 now, grade 10, and I'm currently studying in the government model Ismail College located in Mohammadpur, and having a nice time with all of you. And thanks very much to our viewers, to our organizers. Special thanks to Turab. Without his cooperation, this kind of meeting could not be held. And thanks for other well wishers and also other friends to supporting us to being with us for this long time of 8 months, and we have reached at the point of 100 English practice conversation. So I think inshallah we will continue with this one. So Turab, how are you feeling in this point of carnival, such of kind of meeting of 100 English practice conversation? How is your opinion about this today's meeting?
Absolutely fantabulous, simply marvelous. You know, this is such an outstanding experience from someone like me to work with someone like you. Yes, absolutely fabulous experience. I will never ever forget this. So let me introduce myself first. So hello everyone, this is me, Muhammad Turab Ibn Hussain. Simply, you all can call me Turab. Currently, I'm living in South Paikpara, Dhaka, Bangladesh, and I am a pupil of Government Mohammadpur Model School and College. And I am a student of class 10 there. Yes, a classmate of Abrar Wasif Ocean, obviously. And my father, Muhammad Shakhat Hussain, is currently working as a non-government employee, and my mom, Shirin Akhtar, is a government employee. Yep. My hobbies, my favorite hobbies and passions are reading books and writing different types of stories as well as columns. I really enjoy doing these things. My favorite sports are cricket, football, as well as badminton. Yep. And my aim in life. Obviously, in near future, I will have to choose an occupation. In this case, I must say my aim in life is to be a doctor, as it was the dream of both of my grandfathers. And also, this occupation will enable me to stand by the poor and illiterate, poor and needy people throughout my life. Therefore, I want to be a doctor. Again, I have a second option, and that is to be a teacher, as this profession will enable me to stand by the people of all classes throughout my life. And I'd like to spread the light of education among the poor and illiterate people. And this profession will enable me to do so. So obviously you can see that these two are my choices of profession. But above all, my actual goal is to become a proper human being. I think all of you should have this goal to become a proper human being. So you have known a lot about me. I certainly hope so. Let's move on to our Wasif Ocean about our
Yes,
100 English
thanks.
conversation. Back to
Yes,
Ocean.
thank you very much. And today we are going to celebrate this kind of meeting, and it's very important. So first of all, let me introduce to our viewers about this meeting. So today we are going to arrange the 100 English practice conversation organized by our EPCC language team, and we all know about the full form of this team, that is EPCC means English Practice Conversation Committee language team, and it is team me and Turab as a member, and we mainly focus on this language team to conduct this English practice conversation over online platform. And special thanks to English Unlimited language team for their cooperation. And without their cooperation, it would be very tough for us to arrange this kind of conversations. And special thanks also for Zoom platform and other social medias, other softwares that they with their contribution to this English practice conversation, we have managed to do and make the point of 100 English practice conversations. So let's proceed and let's see today what we have. First of all, I would like to say we will just inaugurate the meeting, then we'll have a discussion over the revolution of science and technology today, and then inshallah we'll take bye-bye from each other. So let's start. And first of all, as per conventionally we do, we first fly balloons on the skies, and in this way we especially inaugurate the special meetings as we did especially in other special meetings in the past, and I think it will be happen. So let's start. So Turab, are we agreed? So if you are agreed with me, I will fly the balloons in the skies and we will inaugurate today's meeting. Okay, so you have agreed through raising your hand. So thank you very much for your approval, and also you're agreeing with me. So let's start now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm inaugurating the meeting on the behalf of our EPCC language team.
Let's fly the balloons. Yes. Clap.
Okay, so I'd like to say that this EPCC language team's journey of this meeting for last 8 months was not so much easy, and we have faced a lot of problems, ups and downs. I've already mentioned earlier. So this here you can see some pictures of our previous special meetings, and here we have enjoyed a lot of conversations where our main focus was to establish us as a fluent English speaker and also in listening skill. And I think we have developed much better than 8 months. And inshallah, this process of developing ourselves, developing our skills in English will be continued. And here you can see a special photo of digital Idda where we discussed about our feelings about the past Eid. And here you can see about a special conversation on the beauty of Islam. And here we have discussed nicely about our feelings about our conversations and what we do. So in this way, we continue and conduct our meetings regularly. And a special thanks to this type of Zoom platform. Without their contribution and cooperation, that could not be happened. And alhamdulillah to our parents that they have already managed to give us this kind of devices and online internet connections, online facilities to us that we have managed to do. So Alhamdulillah that we have managed to do the 100 English practice conversation in developing ourselves as a good and fluent speaker. So we know there's this kind of conversation could be impossible in this time of COVID-19 pandemic without this kind of help of science and technology. And without this help, without the cooperation of technology, we can do that. And these electronic devices are very important. So Turab, how do you think about that? And how do you think about that COVID-19, in this COVID-19 pandemic situation, this kind of online platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, Skype, WhatsApp, there are other social medias. There are a lot of social medias are helping to conduct this kind of important meetings, online classes, or also official meetings and other things. How do you think about that?
Obviously, they deserve a lot of credit, and we are supposed to talk about the revolution of science and technology, and Zoom, Google Meet, etc. Social media platforms are also included among them. So you can see the reflection of modern science and technology in our daily life. Especially, we are arranging English practice conversations in this fashion, and this could never ever be possible without the help of modern technology, especially social media, Facebook, Zoom, Google Meet, WhatsApp, and these type of social media sites. Yes, you have mentioned very nicely, and I completely agreed with you. So now, this is the time to talk about our actual thing. And this is the third and inarguably the most important part of our celebration, that is discussion part. Today, we are supposed to talk about the revolution of science and technology. So I would like to start from you, and I have a question for you. My very first question to you is, what is the revolution of science and technology over the past few decades? Explain in your own words. The time limit is just 2 or 3 minutes. So your countdown starts now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, yes, Alhamdulillah. I would like to say that this kind of, in this situation, especially in this COVID-19 situation, this electronics and technologies are very helpful for us. And if we think about last few decades, it has been a enormous development in our revolutionary sector, in our technology and electronic sector. And if we think about the 200 years ago, what happened there in the time, people used to do their household works or other daily necessities manually, and they have to work hard. But Alhamdulillah, that our scientists and researchers and men have invented a lot of things in this moment, and we have managed to build up very important things. And just a few decades ago, there were no internet connection all over the world, no mobile connection. Mobile phone was not so much cheaper at this moment, at that moment, and especially this already we know that about internet connection is very important, and other social medias or other electronic devices were not so much developed. They were developing at that moment, and Alhamdulillah, we have reached at the modern era, and we are calling this the 21st century. And in this time already we know we will reach the automation process that that is also known as the fourth industrial revolution. For that, it's very important. And for a few decades ago it was developing, and now I think it is quite must develop, especially it is helping all worldwide. If we think about Bangladeshi perspective, it is very important too. So I'd like to say that Bangladesh is improving themselves for that. And last few decades, we know that one time we used to invent diodes or other cathodes or other type of electronics that are not so much powerful. And I would like to say a short example now, that is at the time we used to make diodes or transistor that moment, but when we have invented IC, that is we are saying that integrated circuit, there are a billion numbers of short and small but powerful circuits are used. And in this way, the electronics field are developing, technologies are developing. So I would like to say that within the last few decades we have passed, our technology and electronics are much developed. We should keep pace with that and use it for our basic needs. So I'd like to also say that in this time, especially our hope is the COVID-19 vaccine. So Turab, how do you think about our COVID-19 vaccine, and do you think that this revolution in the field of science and technology have helped us a lot to develop the COVID-19 vaccine? Because we know that some pharmaceutical companies like Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Pfizer, BioNTech, and also about our Bangladeshi company, Globe Biotech, they are already in the process of inventing vaccines. So do you think that these technologies are helpful and very important to develop our vaccines?
Yes, you have said very nice, and your question was absolutely fantastic. Now, let me start. I think vaccine is a must to prevent COVID-19, especially in this sort of time where people are dying at a huge number. In this sort of time, vaccine is a must. And this vaccination process could never ever be possible without the help of modern science and technology. Especially in this case, we can take the name of mRNA vaccine technology. It has helped us a lot in not only discovering the corona vaccine, but also in near future, this technology is going to allow one single vaccine to prevent numerous fatal diseases in the same time. So you can see what is the revolution of science and technology. This is simply marvelous. We cannot express it in words, simply unimaginable, unthinkable. So you can see that developing corona vaccine, obviously technology has helped us a lot. So I think without the help of modern science and technology, developing vaccine could be next to impossible. And I've taken the name of mRNA vaccine technology, so I hope you are quite aware of it. Now, I have the second question to you. So can I ask it?
Yes, obviously, why not?
The question is, all you have to do is explain only one statement. That is, we should use technology, but technology should not use us. All you have to do is explain the statement, whether it is right or wrong.
Yes, so obviously, I would like to say that technology is very important for our development, and without this technology, we cannot think about this COVID-19 situation. And we're moving towards the automation process, and also about the fourth industrial revolution. And in the near future, we have to use technologies, and without this kind of computer-based or ICT-based technology, we won't be so much. Survival in our environment. So we to be survived in our society, we have to use them. It's very important. And then your question comes that technology, we should use technology, but technology should not use us. That's very important. And technologies are very important, and they are meeting our daily and necessary things. There's a reason it's very important, and we have to use them for, and have a proper conception about them, how to use them, and not to overuse them. Overusing anything is very bad thing, and if you do that, you will be suffer in the long run, and ultimately you will face a very big trouble. So you have to use the technologies, and also you should have a proper time management about using the technologies, and you should also know that what's the process to use these technologies. And some in this time of COVID-19 pandemic, many people, many children and young generation are being addicted to online video games. So I don't like to mention the games because we know what are the games are. So these online video games are really good for our mental health. But if we overplay the game, play the game frequently, that will cause our mental and physical hazard. That will be a problem. So in this regard, we can say that technology, technology uses us, if technology makes a nice profit and business by us, and if we waste our time in social medias or in playing games, that won't be good for us. So I completely agree with you that we should use technology for our basic needs, but we should have remember and keep this in our mind that technology, we should use technology, but technology shouldn't use us. And thirdly, I would like to ask you that we are talking about the revolution of science and technology, and also we are developing lots of electronics devices for our improvement, and also other invention has been created. But if you think about Greece, at a moment, Greece were the leaders in this worldwide, that they invented a lot of things, a lot of theories from there we have come to know. But after all, we know that Greece is not so much developed in science now, and they are quite lagging behind themselves, but other worlds are improved. So we have to train our future generation. We have to think about our future generation. So Dhruv, how do you think that what could be the roadmap for the young generation, that how could we establish a science, research, and technology-based society, and what can we do? What can be our contribution to science and technology for the future generation? What should we do for them?
What a question, simply marvelous. I'd like to answer your question, but before answering, I'd like to remind you the history. During the Second World War, the Americans threw atomic bombs to Japan's Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these two cities. I think you are aware of it. There is a memorial which is built with a view to paying tribute to those innocent dead men who actually died of that bombing, because of that bombing. Now, every year, thousands of people, lakhs of people gather around that monumental substance, and they speak only one thing, and the same thing is written on their tombstones, and that is, rest in peace, dear friends, we won't make this mistake again. Now, what does it mean that we won't make this mistake again? They try to mean that they won't misuse their technology. They won't use this technology for devastating things, just like wars, battles, etc., etc. Then the Japanese started giving best priority to education. And when they reached their very best in education sector, their educated youths started to realize that technology is going to be the one which will determine their position. So they started giving the priority to technology. They started utilizing that technology. I'm sorry, I think something was wrong with my phone. Now it's right.
No problem.
Yes, I can continue. As I was saying, that the development of science and technology, they really focused on it. They utilized their technology properly. They utilized it only for their overall development, the development in each and every sector. Then they utilized their technology, and now we all know what is the condition of Japan, what is the position of Japan in the whole world. They are one of the most respectable countries, one of the most developed countries, as well as a high-income country in the world. So how could they reach such an amazing position? Only because they utilized their technology in positive note. And we have to take the lesson from it. Our young generation needs to take the lesson from it. We have to utilize the modern technology only for our development, only for our overall development in every sector, just like economic sector, education sector. We have to utilize our modern technology in these sectors for only our overall development, not for any devastating things, just like wars, battles, etc., etc. So we can take the lesson from the incident of Japan. So if we utilize it, I think a technology-based, modern, civilized society will automatically be established, and we will have all the facilities of having a civilized, modern society, which will be technology-based. I hope you have got your answer, and this is vivid before your eyes. So have we finished the third and inarguably the most important part of our celebration?
Yes, obviously, and thanks very much for your thoughtful answer. It was really informative. All you just said, mentioned me, and I think our viewers have really enjoyed today. And I like to say that sometimes these questions appears to our eyes and to in our minds, that is this technologies and electronic devices are a blessing for us or a curse? I'd like to say that this is obviously blessing, because if you think this in this time of COVID-19 pandemic, if our scientists or researchers didn't develop any kind of electronic devices or technologies, what can we do then? We have to just sit down in our house, our virtual offices, that the home offices that could not be conducted, and our online classes, they have been already stopped. And we know that without the internet connection technology, our total overall process of working, that could be stopped. So I would like to say that this electronics and technologies are really a blessing for us, and it has really fasted our life. And we use technologies such as computers in treatment field, and also in other fields where our parents and other seniors are facing home office now. And especially in this time shutdown or lockdown, we are conducting ourselves to the online webinars and meeting our daily needs. So it's a very blessing, but it's also a curse if we misuse it, make misconception over it. I would like to give a short example about it. That is, we know that a few days ago in the Mog Bazaar of our Dhaka city, there was a huge gas explosion, and that was caused by fire. We know that fire is a necessary fuel, and we use it for cooking our meal or any other reason, basic need, we use it. But if this kind of fire is not controlled in a good manner, if it is controlled without the limitation, it will create like a gas explosion. So it will be cars. It can be a bad master. So same thing to the technology. If we maintain ourselves in a good manner, if we are morally strong to use technologies, if we have the concern to how to use technologies properly, inshallah, it will be a blessing. And we have to establish that technologies are a blessing. We should not think that it's a curse, and we should not overuse them. That's the reason. So I think today we have enjoyed a lot about this conversation. So Turab, how do you think about today's conversation? And we have really discussed about the revolution science and technology. So how do you feeling after discussing this type of conversation?
Yes, these types of conversations are really necessary, but I think one more question can be raised in this case. How technology has been helping us in this COVID-19 situation? That could be a question, but in reply, I'd like to say that without the help of science and technology, we could never ever prevent coronavirus. In this sort of time, if you have any question in your mind, just like how coronavirus is hurting us, how the vaccine is made, how effective it is to human body, again, what is the deadline of receiving vaccine, what is vaccine, how can we be vaccinated, what is the side effect of corona vaccine? So several types of questions can be asked in our mind.
Yes, obviously. And they're yes, the technologies are very important in this case, and we know that without this technology, our development can be stopped. So I think we have really enjoyed today, and thanks to our viewers, a special thanks to Rob. Without your cooperation, I already said, and again I will say that without your cooperation, our conversations cannot be fulfilled, cannot be succeed. So thank you, and we have really talked about some this today's conversation. We have a very nice time. Thanks to our viewers, thanks to our conversation managers, and also well wishers, viewers, and other friends for supporting us. And please keep us in your support, and also take care of yourself in this time of COVID-19 pandemic. It's very important. So I think we have to end now. And before ending, I would like to hear from Turab shortly about your feeling. Please express your feeling shortly.
Yes, today's conversation was really useful. We were discussing about the revolution of science and technology. Especially, we discussed that some questions could be asked related to corona vaccine. if we have any question in our mind, we can simply search for it. And inshallah, we will get our answers with just a click of our mouse or with just a blink of an eye. So you can easily feel how technology has advanced. I'd like to give you one more example, a very short example in this case, and that is, yes, and that was phone screen testing method. I hope you are quite aware of this new method. This is simply called post method. Here, our samples can be collected through the screens of our phone, smartphone, okay? Then it can be mixed with salted water. Thus, our samples can be collected. So in this new phone screen testing method, we don't need to be physically present. So this can be a very good as well as a better replacement of RT-PCR method. So in this case, obviously, we can feel the revolution of science and technology, and this must be added to our conversation. So it was my responsibility to add this, and I did it. Now, I'd like to say that our conversation was absolutely a special one, and I will never ever forget such a memorable one. And especially, it is a nice competency from someone like you. I'd like to specially thank you for an outstanding arrangement, especially the beginning and the ending. Both those things are really
Okay,
good.
so thank you, Turav. We have really enjoyed today,
I have a
and
message to the
now
viewers.
it's time for ending session. So, but before ending, I would like to say that we are talking about the science and revolution. But are we aware about our duty? Are we are responsible for our duty? This question is hanging to our viewers. If you like, you can comment below in this video, YouTube video. So I think we have really enjoyed today. So thank you very much for saying keeping us with